Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
We're going to spend this hour of classic radio theater all on Sunday, August 7th, 1960, starting off with an episode of Have Gun Will Travel, starring John Dehner as Paladin, the episode entitled Viva.
I know how important it is to have the organ delivered to your mission, Father. And even though there is a revolution, I'll get it through to you, somehow.
Have Gun Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carlton Hotel, headquarters of a man called Paladin.
Oh, hey, boy.
Oh, yes, sir.
Could you follow me upstairs, please?
Yes, sir.
I have a bag packed I want you to bring down. I have to hurry.
Oh, you ready to leave?
Just about.
Mr. Wong very worried about this place you go.
New Mexico?
Yes, sir. She's a very strange place.
It's no more strange than a lot of places my business takes me. What's she worried about?
No, Mr. Paladin, Missy Wong worried that you will drink too much brandy and have big hangover. She say, please remember this.
Well, what has that got to do with it? Oh, Miss Wong.
Oh, hello, Mr. Paladin. Oh, you friends certainly make mess in this room last night.
I'm afraid they did, Miss Wong. I'm sorry. We have to pick up some things, and I'm on my way.
Oh, Mr. Paladin. Oh, you go that place?
Why this sudden concern about where I go? This happens to be an important business assignment.
Oh, but Mr. Paladin, that place, so strange. Whole river of brandy?
A whole river of brandy?
Yeah.
The Rio Grande?
Oh, yes, sir.
And just where did you get your information?
Mr. Bagshaw.
Bagshaw, the old cowboy gone rich who has the suite on the third floor?
Yes, sir. He sing song all about where you go. He teach song to Missy Wong.
Oh, he did?
Yes, sir.
What's the song?
Oh, Mr. Wong not sing as well as Mr. Bagshaw, but it's something like this. Where the coffee grows on the white oak tree and the river flows with brandy, then it's fare you well, my own true love, for I'm bound for the Rio Grande.
Oh, river flow with brandy.
Don't you believe it, hey boy. That river flows with nothing but yellow water. Miss Wong, I'm afraid that is not a factual account of the Rio Grande.
Oh, no, sir?
No. Grab that bag, will you, hey boy? We have to go. Whenever an assignment took me to the border area, I made it a point to look in on Father O'Toole, parish priest of the lower Rio Grande. So with my, what turned out to be pretty exhausting business in Laredo finished, I headed for the little mission of St. Xavier. It was a visit I always anticipated with pleasure. Father Francis Michael Thomas O'Toole was one of my favorite people. I found him in the garden behind the church, down on his knees, working in a flower bed.
Paladin. Well, now, that's good to see you, lad.
Hello, Father.
It's a long time it's been.
Ah, too long. Hey, garden is beautiful, Father. You've done a lot of work.
Well, thank you, my son, but it's a constant fight we must wage against the forces of evil.
How's that?
Thrip
Thrip?
and mealybug.
Oh, well, I have never faced up to a mealybug in a fight, Father. I'm afraid I can't be of much help.
Formidable foe, mealybug. Well, come now. We'll see to your horse and relay the pleasant message that we're to have a guest for dinner, and then perhaps you'd like a glass of port. Look here, I put up another hammock in the garden. I wonder, was I anticipating your visit?
Oh, it certainly looks inviting. I just may get in that hammock and never want to move out of it.
Father O'Toole! In the garden, Tono. You remember Tono?
Yeah, he's the Indian boy you raised here, of course.
Oh, he's a fine young man now. He just returned to St. Xavier. He's been in school in Santa Fe.
Father O'Toole. Oh, excuse me.
Tono, we have a visitor. Mr. Paladin, you remember him?
Of course. How are you, sir?
Hello, Tono.
Father O'Toole, I have checked again with the freight office. There is no freight coming through.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Now, that is bad news.
Well, what's the trouble, Father?
Well, sinful it is, I suppose, but I did want to impress the bishop.
The bishop?
He's making a tour of the diocese and plans to visit St. Xavier's. We scrubbed and we polished and we planted and we shined and we torn it. Oh, I had counted on that organ.
Organ?
You see, Mr. Paladin, a very generous man made the church a gift of an organ. It was ordered from France and came by steamer to the Gulf of Mexico.
And there it sits at the dock. Well, that's my punishment for my haughty dreams of making a fine show. Why isn't the freight coming through, Tono?
Father, there is a revolution in progress between here and the Gulf of Mexico.
That serves me right for putting too much emphasis on the temporal things.
Now, nonsense. If you've planned on that organ, I don't see why a revolution should interfere. Father, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go after him.
Oh, no, but Paladin.
May I go with you, sir?
Well, if it's all right with Father O'Toole.
Well, Paladin, you came here for a rest.
You just keep that hammock swinging, Father. I'll be back. Traveling to the Gulf on horseback, Tono and I were able to skirt the battlefield of the Revolution. However, on the return trip, we'd have to take the wagon road, which would lead us directly through the war zone. Still, I couldn't foresee any problem. Father O'Toole was well known, well loved, and I was sure that an explanation of our mission would grant us safe conduct. The whole business seemed very simple. That is, it did until we reached the port of Matamoros and ran into the typically Mexican official red tape.
Mr. Paladin.
Well, now, Tono, what did he say?
Now we take these papers to the customs warehouse.
And where's that?
Across the street there.
All right, let's go. How many papers have we signed by now? In duplicate, in triplicate, English and Spanish, translated upside down, sideways, and backward?
Very, very many, but we should be near the end.
I hope so.
That's the fellow we talked to over there.
Yeah, all right. Well, come on.
Buenos dias, servidor de usted?
Yes, I want to take delivery on a crate addressed to St. Xavier Mission.
¿Tiene usted conocimiento de embarque?
What's he talking about?
He says, do we have bill of lading?
Oh, look, I've got that. And I've got that.
Por favor, un momento. Senor, would you mind to step aside for a little minute? But I have business to transact here. Business importante.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. I happen to be transacting some muy importante business here myself. Now, if you'll just hold it a little minute, I trust we won't be long. Now, please.
Senor, I'm afraid you don't understand. I'm in a hurry. Business importante. Gracias. You're very kind. Gracias. Now, perdóneme.
Buenos dias.
How do you like that, Tono?
I can see, sir, that the fuse of your temper is getting awfully short, but we might as well be patient a while longer.
Of course you're right, Tono. As a matter of fact, I guess it would be funny if I weren't so tired of all this.
Why don't I go to the livery and arrange for a wagon? Save time.
All right, we'll need a team. Good, strong horses.
I'll see you at the loading docks behind the warehouse.
Right.
Perdóneme, senor. I believe it is your turn now.
Yeah. Gracias. Very much.
August 7th, 1960, Habgun Will Travel on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of Habgun Will Travel, Viva, August 7th, 1960.
Mr. Paladin, I'm sorry I took so long.
That's all right, Tono. They're just bringing the crates on the docks now. Did you get the team?
Yes, but you see, in this town, everything is a little difficult.
I've discovered that. Where's the wagon?
There, by the platform.
That one? With the oxen?
They'll get us there, Mr. Paladin.
Oh, sure. Sure they will. Well, we've managed to get some action. That's our crate on the platform now. Come on. Tono, those men over there, those cargadores.
Yes?
I've already paid them to help us load, so you'd better give the orders. My Spanish seems to lack authority.
Oh, sure.
Hey, Tono, look. That man again.
He's got his wagon to the platform.
Yeah, and he's using my cargadores to load his crate for him. Hey, pardoneme, senor.
Si?
Those are my cargadores, mine.
Si? Well, but maybe you would stand back there, senor, for just a little minute. Business, importante. You see, I'm in such a hurry.
Well, it happens that I'm in a bit of a hurry myself.
Bueno, well, we won't be long.
But those men have been hired to load my crate. They've already been paid.
Oh, senor, gracias. That's very kind. Now, if you'll just stand back, por favor. Cargadores, vámonos.
Cargadores, you load the crate you were paid to load. Right there.
No, aquí.
There.
No, aquí.
There. Senor.
See?
What's your name?
I am called Pancho.
Well, Pancho, like I said to Tono, maybe if I weren't so tired, it'd be funny. But I am. And it isn't. So you just...
Certainly a lot of excitement around there for a while. Those poor cargadores didn't know what they were doing.
I'm a little ashamed of that, Tono. Pancho certainly isn't the first man I've hit, but I've usually had better cause.
Well, we can forget about it now. We have the organ, and Father O'Toole will be able to properly impress the bishop.
That's right. Speaking of Pancho, is he still traveling behind us?
No, he veered off to the right back a ways.
I wonder what he's hauling through the war zone here.
Look, Mr. Paladin. Soldiers.
Those are soldiers. Barefooted? Armed with pitchforks?
These must be the revoltosos, the peon army.
Well, I'll tell you, Tono. I'm for the underdog. I've just decided I'm on their side. Do you happen to know what they're fighting for?
No, and they have probably forgotten themselves.
Ooh.
Ah, that must be the leader coming over this way.
Yeah. Well, we'll just explain that we're on business for St. Xavier Mission and ask for safe conduct through the area.
Look, Mr. Paladin, we're completely surrounded.
Yeah. You know, Tono, those pitchforks don't look very military, but they certainly look effective.
I'm glad we have a good explanation for being here.
Senores?
Buenos dias.
You will step down?
Sure. Come on, Tono.
Yes.
You're gone?
Well, you let me explain.
You're gone?
All right. There. Now, if you will permit me to...
You are under arrest.
Arrest?
We are too clever for you, are we not? We, the army of the people.
Oh, believe me, all I need is a chance to explain.
No need to explain. We have had word. You bring arms to the militia. The pigs are enemy.
Oh, well, no. That's a mistake. We're on an errand for Father O'Toole. We're taking an organ to St. Xavier Mission.
The padre?
Yes.
San Javier?
That's right.
Organo?
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. You mind we see organ for San Javier?
Ooh.
Pedro, abra la caja.
Look, tell them to take it easy opening that crate. I don't want anything to happen to that organ.
General Perez, rifles.
He says rifles.
Rifles?
Rifles, Mr. Paladin.
Rifles?
My poor little army is grateful for them, senor. And it will be your honor to fetch them first, in front of the firing squad.
Without ceremony, we were prodded with pitchforks to a dugout in the side of the hill. It had an iron-barred, padlocked door. By the time my eyes got accustomed to the dark, I had managed to figure out what had happened. The muy importante business of my fat friend Pancho was undoubtedly a shipment of arms to the militia. In the confusion at the docks after I slugged him, the cargadores had put his crate on our wagon and our crate on his. If the militia expected rifles, it was a sure thing they weren't too happy when Pancho showed up with a church organ.
Not very good food, Mr. Paladin, and not very much. We may starve to death before we reach the firing squad.
Look, Tono, we aren't giving up. Father O'Toole has got to impress the bishop.
You really think the militia has the organ?
That's the only answer. This is the darndest war. I've noticed every day about this time all activity seems to stop out there. Everything quiets down.
Of course, the siesta.
You mean even in the midst of a revolution, everybody stops after lunch to take a nap?
Oh, yes, it is the custom.
General Perez seems too disturbed for a siesta.
Yes, he has been pacing back and forth out there.
Yeah. Hey, hand me one of those tin plates, Tono. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, why do you do that?
You'll see.
Here, what is this? What does this mean?
General Perez,
Si.
You're starving us to death.
You eat as well as my soldiers.
You're short of food?
See?
Well, why haven't we faced the firing squad?
If you must know, we are also short of ammunition.
I suspected that. General, would you like to win this war?
Of course.
All right, I have an idea. There's a plan that may help you, if you let us out of here.
What nonsense is this?
Even without those guns you confiscated. That militia is well armed. You're never going to beat them with one crate of rifles, no ammunition, and a bunch of pitchforks.
I'm afraid that is true, senor. It takes more to win a war than a just cause.
Let us throw in with you. Will you trust us?
Why should I?
Now, look, General. You can't afford to feed us. You can't afford to shoot us. You might just as well trust us. Believe me, you won't regret it, General.
What can you do?
We can go over into the enemy territory.
But I cannot give you arms.
I know. All we'll need are a couple of buckets.
Buckets?
Buckets of that adobe soil out there and some water.
Senor, the heat is too much for you.
No. I'm not loco, General. Just give us 2 hours over there. Then bring your men and attack.
My poor little army against all those guns, it will mean complete defeat.
I think you'll find it will mean complete surrender of the militia. Please trust me.
All right, senor. I have nothing to lose. You can try.
Let's see now. Did you get those rifles stacked by the tents?
Yes. And those lying by the guards sleeping over there. These soldiers of the militia are sound sleepers.
Yeah, lucky for us. Well, I guess that means we've plugged the barrels of every rifle in the outfit with that adobe mud. Now, in this heat, that adobe will harden and expand. And by the time Perez attacks...
The guns of the militia will not perform with efficiency.
Even a pitchfork, Tono, is a worthy weapon against a gun that fires backwards.
Aha!
So I guess we've done our part for the People's Army. Now let's look for St. Xavier's organ. It's got to be around here someplace.
Mr. Paladin, they're waking up.
Yeah. Quick, duck behind that little stone building over there. Come on. Yes. Here. You know, maybe we better sit out the battle right here. We'll have to look for the organ after the attack.
I hope we can find it. But, Mr. Paladin, I've been thinking.
What?
Do you know how to play an organ?
No.
I don't either. Brother Manuel doesn't. Brother Luis doesn't.
Well, what are you getting at?
Mr. Paladin, I can't think of anyone in the parish who knows how to play an organ.
Well, surely Father O'Toole thought of that. Hey, Tono, listen.
It's inside this building.
Yeah, there's a window down there. Come on. Careful.
Look, it's Pancho.
Hey, Pancho.
Oh, buenos dias, senor.
What's the idea?
Senor, Pancho is the victim of unfortunate circumstance. Tomorrow is the day Pancho is to die. They shoot Pancho.
Sort of the way I had it figured. But what's the organ doing in the cell with you?
Well, I made one last request that before I die, I be permitted to play this lovely organo, for which by a strange, unfortunate circumstance, I give my life. The request granted with understanding that I don't play until after siesta.
Mr. Paladin, here comes General Perez.
Right on time, Tono? Pancho, you play the organ very well.
Well, see, for many years I play organo for the Mass at the Cathedral of Our Lady of Guadalupe.
You did. Pancho, I think maybe we could use you. How would you like to take a little trip?
No trip, senor. It is tomorrow I die.
Maybe not, Pancho.
The revoltosos are coming on strong, Mr. Paladin.
Pancho, listen. I figure to be on the winning team in this revolution. Maybe I can help you.
Mr. Paladin, the militia is mowing itself down.
Yes, Tono, I see. It's working just the way I hoped it would. They're being knocked down by their own guns.
Senor, the People's Army is winning. Now Pancho will go free, no?
Only if you will transact big business with me.
Business importante.
Oh, muy importante, Pancho. You help us take the organ to Father O'Toole and play it for the bishop. How about it?
See? Pancho will do that. See? Viva la revolución.
Oh, you said it, Pancho. Viva la revolución.
Viva la revolución.
Viva la revolución. Have Gun Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed in Hollywood by Frank Paris and stars John Dehner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy and Virginia Gregg as Miss Wong.
Tonight's story is being presented in 2 parts and was specially written for Have Gun Will Travel by Ann Dowd. Featured in the cast were Don Diamond, Harry Bartell, Jack Edwards, and Bill Idelson.
The only radio show adapted from a network television show, Have Gun Will Travel, starring John Dehner as Paladin, from August 7th, 1960. Coming up in just a few moments here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, we'll stay at August 7th, 1960.
And now, another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
The Big Dive from August 7th, 1960, when Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues in a moment.
You ever make a change and then think, why didn't I do this years ago? Well, that's how people feel about switching to MediShare for their health care, especially now with inflation the way it is. People are very happy with the savings. Most families save about $500 a month when they switch. It's a huge help when prices are going up so fast in so many other areas. And MediShare's customer satisfaction rate is double that of health insurance. It's just a different experience, and people really like that. MediShare is an alternative to health insurance. It's a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills, and it's been going strong for over 25 years. It really is the gold standard, the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. Find out why people love it, find out why they rave about the customer service, and find out how good it feels to save some money right now. They're super easy to talk to. Here's the number, 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE, 833-34-BIBLE.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, radio's outstanding theater of thrill suspense, The Big Dive, from August 7th, 1960.
Sun Island Amusement Park, late one summer night. The smell of popcorn and franks, the music of the carousel, the thunder of the roller coaster, the steady sound of shots from the shooting gallery, the ceaseless calls of barkers along the midway, all the garish life and color of a carnival, and hiding behind them the shadows that haunt the lives of the Carney people, from the hunchback who peddles balloons to Danny King, the diving wonder of the world.
Over this way, boss. Danny King is down at the end of the midway.
Oh, this is Fun Island, huh? Somehow I've never been out here before.
Yeah, you go more for nightclubs and racetracks, boss. But a lot of people like this kind of fun.
I wonder if we shouldn't look into it. A lot of potential customers out here.
They're all 2-bit spenders, every one of them. Oh, there's Danny King's pitch. Hey, you see that diving tower? That's him now, climbing up on it.
This is where Danny's been hiding out. No wonder we couldn't find him.
Yeah. You know, if I hadn't seen his mug in that newspaper... Hey, we better hurry, boss. He's already up on the platform.
You mean he's really going to dive from up there? He must be 60 feet up.
75. And he dives into a canvas pool 6 feet deep. You know, he's a bum, this guy. He's a no-goodnik, but in college he was a diving champ.
Yeah, we better stop here. The crowd's getting too thick. I don't like crowds.
Okay, boss.
All right, folks, all right. Now we bring you our feature attraction, Danny King, the human seal, the diving wonder of the world. It's free, folks, it's free. Step up, step up, step up. In just a moment, this daring young man you see standing far above your head is going to dive through flaming gasoline into 5 feet of water. Yes, folks, 5 feet of water. Can he perform this deed of daring and live 75 feet into a tiny canvas tank? He's getting ready, folks. He's getting ready. Watch him make his desperate gamble with death.
He's getting set. He's really going to do it.
And here he comes, folks. He's in the air. And he's plunging through the flames. He's passing towards us. Is he going to miss the tank? And he's done it. 75 feet into a puddle of water, and he still lives. Danny King, the diving wonder of the world. Give him a hand, folks. Give him a hand. That's it.
Very neatly done. Charlie, if Danny has to earn his living like this, I doubt if he has $10,000 to pay us.
That's right. But he's got a rich uncle. A real rich uncle.
Quite true. All right, suppose we give him time to get dressed. and we'll have our little chat with Danny King.
Hey, Danny, are you dressed?
Yeah, what is it?
There's 2 guys outside want to see you. I don't like their looks. They got the look of the racket to me.
Stall them off, Barker. I don't want to see them.
That's too bad, Danny, because we're here.
Oh, Grogan.
Hey, you can't come busting in here like this.
Outside,
Hey, you
little
take your
man.
hands off me.
No, it's okay, Barker. I know these fellas.
You heard the man.
Well, if you say so, Danny. I'll wait outside.
Well, Danny, this is a pleasant surprise.
What do you want?
Just to say hello and collect $10,000.
I don't owe you anything. You got $25,000 from me, and I stole part of that. My uncle threw me out. That ought to satisfy you.
Unfortunately, no. I still hold $10,000 of your IOU.
Well, I haven't got it.
Tell him, Mike. He knows somebody who does have it.
Charlie means your uncle, Danny. Harvey K. Randolph.
You'll never give me a cent. I forged his check for the last $5,000 you suckered out of me, and my uncle threw me out.
Oh, that's too bad, ain't it, Mike?
Listen. Someday I'll get at least $1 million. He's got it now, but it's held in trust for me. When I get it, I'll pay you double. Triple.
All right, Danny. If you need time, we'll give you time.
I knew you'd be reasonable.
I pride myself on being reasonable. So I'm giving you a whole week in which to pay me that $10,000. Or else, Danny. Or else.
August 7th, 1960, Suspense on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of The Big Dive, an episode of Suspense from August 7th, 1960.
It's not good, huh, Danny?
They'll kill me, Bart.
Yeah, my Brogan plays for keeps, but look, if your uncle...
He has absolutely no use for me. I've told you how I forged that check, and then he...
Yeah, and he tossed you out on your ear. Sink or swim, huh? Yeah. But look, with your life in danger...
My life. That wouldn't matter to Uncle Harvey. He told me to never come to him again, and he meant it.
Boy, you really got yourself sewed in a sack.
There isn't a soul who... Wait. Betty.
Who's Betty?
Betty Thompson. Sort of a combination nurse and secretary for Uncle Harvey. She's a nice kid if you like employing with glasses.
Well, what can she do?
Oh, Uncle Harvey dotes on her, and she dotes on me. She's in love with me. Yeah, I know. I'll phone her. Make a date.
She's around here?
Yeah, I'm sure of it. Every summer, Uncle Harvey takes a suite at the Grand Beach Hotel. That's only a couple of miles up the beach from here, and... she might be followed. I'm not able to get away.
The Grand Beach, huh? That's a real ritzy joint. You almost got to have a passport to get inside.
I got it. The hotel's outdoor swimming pool.
What about it?
Well, it's open to the public on Tuesdays. Tomorrow's Tuesday. And Betty could slip down for a swim, and Uncle Harvey wouldn't think anything of it. Here. I'll phone her now and tell her to join me in the pool tomorrow afternoon. Pretend not to notice me. Just swim alongside me.
Oh, I thought you were never coming.
Well, I was delayed. Now listen.
Okay.
Climb out of the pool.
Uh-huh.
And lie on the tiles.
All right.
Just casually.
Uh-huh.
Don't come and lie down a couple of feet away.
All right.
I'll cover my face with a towel. You can talk and not be noticed.
Yes, Daddy. Anything you say.
Go on, climb out now.
All right.
And don't look back at me. We can talk now, Betty. But don't look at me.
Oh, Danny, can't I even look at you after all this time?
No, I don't want anyone even to suspect we've been in contact. Well, glad I'm here?
Oh, you know I am. I've thought about you so much. You said you were going to write.
Uncle Harvey wouldn't have liked it.
I love you. You're more important to me than he is. Oh, Danny, darling, where have you been?
A lot of places. Right now, I'm making a pretty good living. $200 a week.
Danny, that's wonderful. Your uncle...
Oh. What about him?
If he knew, he might forgive you. At least
Well, he might.
You know him better than that.
Well, he's terribly stern, I know, but if he thought you turned over a new leaf...
Well, I have. But I'm in trouble.
Danny, no.
I need $10,000. If I don't get it, I'll be killed.
Say that. Please tell me that isn't true.
It is true, and you've got to help me.
I don't want to, but how?
I don't know how.
Danny!
Somehow. Huh?
Don't talk. Pretend to be asleep.
What is it?
Your uncle. He's waving to me from his bedroom window. Quiet. He's gone now.
From his bedroom window?
Yes, the apartment overlooks the pool. It's on the 5th floor, directly above us. See? Up there.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah. Right above us.
He often watches me when I come swimming.
Did he see me?
No. The towel hit your face.
So that's where the old boy hangs out.
Mm-hmm. The sea air is good for him. He gets terrible headaches sometimes.
Yeah, I should weep. Now, listen, I have to have $10,000 inside 6 days.
6 days? Danny, how can we get it?
From Uncle Harvey. You have to give him some sob story. My life depends on it.
Elizabeth, you are not experienced in the art of lying.
But, Mr. Randolph...
This whole story about needing $10,000 to save your brother in San Francisco from jail, it's a complete fabrication now, isn't it?
No, sir. Jack is desperate, and I'll pay it back out of my salary.
Oh, please, my dear, your story's a lie. The only person you would lie for is Daniel. Am I right?
Yes, Mr. Randolph. Danny needs the money. He needs it terribly.
What difficulty is he in now?
He's some gamblers. They threatened to kill him.
I see.
But he's reformed. Really, he has. If you can only help him out of this trouble...
Elizabeth, you may think me hard-hearted, but I've helped Daniel out of an endless succession of difficulties in the last few years. Each time he swore to reform.
I know, but this time he has. I'm sure of it.
Ah, you love it.
You must help him. Please say that you will.
There is only one help for Daniel, to solve his own problems and stand on his own feet. Now, these men are simply trying to scare him. Now, it hurts me to say this to you, but for Daniel's own sake, the answer is no.
Who is it?
Just me.
No.
Hey, it's starting to rain. Radio says we'll have 3 days of rain, maybe more.
No, it's just dandy.
Hey, Danny, this ain't doing any good, lapping up the booze that way. You know, your timing is way off. Tonight you almost missed the pool. Pretty near give me heart failure.
Now, don't worry about me. I can dive blindfolded on a pitch-dark night. Drunk or sober.
Oh, ease up, Danny. Listen, I passed that Betty kid in the hall, bawling her eyes out. What'd you say to her?
I told her to stop bothering me. I needed $10,000, and she brings me $500.
Well, she loves you, Danny. She's doing her best. That uncle of yours just won't sell a shell out of dime.
No, I gotta sink or swim on my own, he says. If I could only get my hands around his throat and choke and choke and choke him.
All right, Danny, now take it easy.
Yeah, with 3 days left, he tells me to take it easy. $1 million I have coming to me when Uncle Harvey dies, or I reach 28. Only I'll never get it because I won't reach 28. You keep on living and I'll be dead. If he'd only die now. If he'd only die like a man his age should.
What is it, Danny? What's the matter?
Just an idea. Really terrific idea. I don't intend to get killed, see? No matter what I have to do, I don't intend to get killed. You get me?
No, I'm not sure I do.
No, it doesn't matter. Just find me the name of a tailor who can make a bellhop uniform in a hurry and keep his mouth shut. Well, how do you like it, Barker? How's it look, huh?
Well, you look just like a bellhop. Hey, what's this say on the pocket? Grand Beach Hotel. Hey, Danny, what is this?
Simple. No, I'm a bellhop at the Grand Beach.
No kidding, you are, really?
Oh, of course not. But I'm paying a call there tonight, and if anybody notices me, I'm just a bellhop. Nobody to look at twice.
You gonna go see your uncle?
Look, forget everything. Just don't ever spill a word of this.
Oh, not me. I know how to keep my mouth shut.
Hey, listen. Is that thunder?
Yeah. The weather's getting worse. Rain for 2 more days anyway, the radio says.
Huh. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now, listen, I have a date with Betty tonight. I called her up and told her I made a settlement with Brogan.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm to meet her at the Quartet Cafe at 1 a.m. She thinks I'm going to ask her to marry me. I'll be a little late. You'll meet her and keep her there till I get there.
Okay, if you say so.
I'll be there at 10 after. Just keep her there.
Yes, who is it?
A message from Miss Thompson.
From Elizabeth? Just a moment. Let me see you. Oh, yes, one of the bellboys. Well, I like to be certain. All right, come on in.
Thank you, sir.
Now, you say you have a message. Let me have it. Daniel.
Yes, Uncle Harvey.
What the devil are you doing in that bellboy outfit?
I had to see you. I had to talk to you.
Elizabeth already has pleaded your case, and the answer's no.
Uncle Harvey, I need $10,000. They'll kill me if I don't pay it. You understand? They'll kill me, leave me lying in the gutter. Yeah, you'll like that, won't you? You've always said I belong in the gutter.
Please, Daniel, no melodramatics. Possibly someone is trying to scare you. And part of your growing up is to learn not to be so easily scared.
I am scared of dying. For the last time, Uncle Harvey, will you let me have $10,000 of my own money to save my life?
I'm sorry. I cannot go back on the principles that I live by.
Then you'll have to die by them, too.
Why, a gun.
And loaded and silenced.
Don't be a fool. Now, surely you know you can't kill me, if that's what you plan.
I have $1 million coming to me, and I can only collect it now if you die. Well, I need it. So you're going to die, Uncle Harvey.
Daniel, you're being absurd as well as melodramatic.
You always had a low opinion of me. If you'd had more faith in me, maybe I'd have amounted to something. But did you ever think I'd get down to murder, huh?
Daniel, you're out of your mind. If you harm me, all the motive will point to you. You'll be electrocuted.
Oh, no. Because you're going to commit suicide. You're going to hang yourself with your dressing gown cord.
No one will believe that.
Oh, yes, you've had a lot of bad headaches. That's reason enough. Besides, they'll have to believe it. Even Betty. See, the door will be locked from the inside, and the chain will be in place, and the door will be bolted, proving you had to be alone so no one could possibly have killed you but yourself.
How do you propose to manage that?
When you know, Uncle, you'll be dead. There, Uncle Harvey. How quietly you hang. Perfect model of a gentleman's suicide. The door. Locked and bolted. Inside. Chair under your feet. Kicked over to keep up appearances. Oh, yes, your bedside clock. And set it ahead half an hour and break it on the floor. There. Now, shift the chair. And knocked against the dresser and the clock fell. You died at 1:30. When I'll be drinking with Betty. Asking her to marry me. The perfect alibi. It will keep her from being suspicious. Now for the graceful exit. First open the window. It's still raining. Good. No one will be around on a night like this. Now, out on the window ledge. There, that's it. Close the window tight behind me. Now for the big dive. $1 million dive. The pool directly below me. I could see it then, about 15 feet out, 8 feet deep. It's child's play for Danny King, the diving wonder. Just a little push outward to clear the tiles. Nothing to it. And Uncle Harvey is left behind, dead in a locked room. And I'll go after the next flash of lightning. I'll shield my eyes so that it's thrown off balance. Goodbye, Uncle Harvey. $1 million. Here comes Danny.
Hey, Betty, you wear out that coffee cup.
Oh, I'm still stirring it. I guess I'm worried about Danny. He's so late.
He's fine. He said he'd be a little late.
Oh, I'm so glad he He's got that business with those awful gamblers straightened out. I do love him so. I know he's going to be different after this.
Sure he is. It's going to be all right.
His uncle just misjudged him, that's all. Danny's a fine person, really. But it's after 1:30 and he isn't here yet. Oh, I'm being silly. I'll put some lipstick on. I must have chewed it all off by now.
Hey, you dropped this piece of paper out of your purse.
Paper? Let's see. Oh, it's nothing important. Just a notice from the management of the hotel. It was in our box. It only says that the management is taking advantage of the bad weather to repair the swimming pool. It drained all the water out this afternoon and closed it until further notice.
Suspense. You've been listening to The Big Dive, written for Suspense by John West. Heard in tonight's story were Leon Janney as Danny King, Rosemary Rice as Betty, Sam Gray as Mike Brogan, Mandel Kramer as Charlie, Ralph Bell as the Barker, and Bill Smith as Uncle Horace. Listen again next week when we return with Night Ferry to Paris by William N. Robeson, another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
From August 7th, 1960, Suspense on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit the webpage, classicradio.stream. There you can stream our shows on demand. You can learn more about classic radio collecting. You can find links to our social media and links also to where you can get apps to download our shows if you so want. You can contact me, and if you like what we do here, you can buy me a copy. Those buy me a coffee purchases are earmarked specifically for acquiring new, great classic radio theater programs. Thanks for tuning in. Thank this station, support their advertisers, and tell your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.